Yo! Hello, hello, hello! How are we doing today? How are we doing? Let me shut my window. It's actually got chilly. Oh my goodness, it's got chilly. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks so much for tuning into this live stream. My name is Mike, and I live stream every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And today, it is Monday. How are we today? How are we? Hello, hello. Let me just find my tunes. Why is it so hard to find? It should be right there. There we go. Woo! Right, got a big day today. We have, well, I have put together some stats for the early 11th edition events that have been happening over the past couple of weeks. And we've got some like stats to go over. That's the plan today. And then we've got an orc army to give away. Yo, papaya. Thank you so much for the 10 papaya. Appreciate you, man. Let me just quickly add you. I just need to add a little message because today we are giving away an orc side of Armageddon. So we have all of these wonderful names, all of these wonderful people that have been supporting the channel, super chat, becoming members, gifting memberships, etc. All of these people are being entered to win the orc side of Armageddon. So I just need to post a little comment. Win orcs from Armageddon. Super chat. Chat. Gift or become a member to enter. We have a Meta Monday. Yeah, I know it's been a little while. It's been a little while, but we do have a Meta Monday, especially with it being like early 11th edition. People are starting to play tournaments and stuff. I thought it might be fun to have a look at some stats and have a look at a couple of lists that are happening and see what's going on in the world of early 11th edition. It's an exciting time. I think a lot of the data is going to be a little bit not rubbish, but a lot of the data is going to be very, very much like it's going to fluctuate loads for the next couple of weeks while people are like working out 11th edition, actually getting to tournaments, actually realizing what's good, waiting for their coaches to tell them what to play at a tournament. You know, it's going to be a lot's in fluctuation, but I thought it'd be fun to chat about it and see what we've got early on. So I just need to tell my Discord that I've just gone live. Sorry that I can't catch my breath. I'm trying to catch my breath, but I'm also trying to talk at the same time. Cool. So that's that. But how was your weekend, chat? Did you manage to survive the heat wave? I hope you did. If you made it, if you didn't, then RIP. If you didn't make it, RIP, I guess. It was a pretty brutal one, but it's nice that it's finally fucking over. Like, Jesus Christ. I like shut the window just then to stop air coming in. I've got it open a little bit. God, last week was brutal. But Friday was fun. Friday was cool to see the announcements. And then Saturday, what did I do? I went to Elliot's. We did some hobbying. Me, Elliot, and Big C. We did some hobbying together, which was cute. We did a big hobby day. We had all the fans on, and I built 3 more land speeders. Chat, I did it. I built 3 more land speeders. Can you believe? I have 2 left to build and all of them to paint. That's kind of the problem. It's like, well, I can build them quite quick. I gotta build them all, bro. I gotta build and paint them all. That's a problem. Dunra, thank you for the 20 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the 20 months. Very kind of you.
Celebrates 20 months of membership. Melting face emoji.
It was truly melty. And that Chris B UK. Thank you so much for the super chat. For the becoming a member, sorry. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate it. Be like these wonderful people. Super chat if you haven't already. Become a member if you haven't already. Or gift a membership to let someone else become a member if you are already one. Land speeder, I barely know her. I know, look. So here we are. Look. We have 3 unpainted speed. Well, that's the weapons gun. Thankfully, I magnetized all the bases. We have speeder. We have land speeder. And we have land speeder. Okay, they're the unpainted ones. They're the unpainted ones. we also have land speeder and more storm speeders. I've started doing the fucking bone today. Ah, it makes you want to kill yourself, honestly. I didn't want to mask it and airbrush it all, so I'm painting it by hand, and look at the state. Look at the state, bro. Awful. That's literally one coat. So we're moving. The land speeder list is flying. You know, it's speeding along, you could say. You could say it's speeding along. So we are making progress. It's making progress. I'm excited to play it for the first time. I still haven't played it. It's all in theory crafted. Maybe I could play it this week when I've actually got all the speeders. Took a land speeder to my game last week. Got annihilated tier 1 by a defiler. But if you got one land speeder, of course it's going to get fucking wrecked. If you've only got one, that's the problem. You need 12. You just need 12, really. Let's be honest. You just need 12. Built my second push fit land speed today. Won't lie, this one might be a land speed in its way to eBay. Why's that? Why's that, bud? I think the land speed is actually a decent kit. Let me just quickly make a drink of G Fuel. What do we have today? I might have Operation Meteor. Let's have some Operation Meteor today. It's Wing Gundam time. Cherry raspberry. Got my first RTT this Sunday. Taking Space Wolves, all infantry. That'll be sick. That'll be sick. Make sure you share the list in the Discord. That's why you went Discord if you're not joined already. I apparently need to buy some more Outriders. Oh yeah, they announced Outriders today, right? They announced new Outriders. Thank you, Mucking and Andy Tech Dad. Appreciate it. Outriders in Old World. No. No. Better. Bikes. Bikes and bikes. There was the Siege of Deathmire announcement today. I'll go full screen just to... Oh, didn't mean to do that. Go full screen just to hold other things. We had a video.
You have fought well. We have made the Orc invaders bleed for every step into our city. The outer defenses can no longer hold. We now withdraw to the next line in good order so the defense may continue. Do not relent. Take heart, soldiers of Armageddon. The Emperor is with us.
So you got Imperial Victory, basically, for the thing, for the stat thing that people are doing. Are you involved with this chat? Because I'm not. Funnily enough, I'm not doing out to do with this. But it says, yes, the Imperium scores first blood to the enemy attack against the hive's outer walls, and they retreat to a well-fortified second line ready for the next wave of Orcs attacks. So they've announced the first Space Marine kit coming with the Orc Codex and the Space Marine Codex when that comes out eventually. They've announced Outriders. Multi-part Outriders. They look exactly the same. They look different whatsoever. The only difference is that the sergeants can actually take different weapons, such as a thunderhammer, a power axe, and a power sword. So weird how the strongest army is always the one GD wants to sell minis for. It's a miracle. I don't think Space Marines are the strongest army. Not to be controversial. Not exactly the same. They're missing the big seam down the middle. I don't know, bro. There's still time. I don't know, bro. There's still time. So they've announced that they're bringing out multi-part Outriders, which I was corrected actually 6 years ago that the Outriders came out. 6 years ago, and they're finally doing multi-part. What the fuck? No one's going to buy these. Everyone's going to get the Outriders they already own and snap an arm off and put a thunder hammer on it. Let's be honest, or a power weapon. Who's fucking going? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy multi-part Outriders, even though they've been selling the other shit ones for 6 years. When Indomitus came out, I bought 3 units of 3 and called it a day. Might not have those seams. I saw a video somewhere about sprue goo. That's so true. That's so true. I saw a video. I mean, fucking hundreds of thousands of people saw that video with sprue goo, thank God. Chat, I won't, not to gloat. I'm not saying it to gloat, but those fucking videos last week did fucking bananas. I was so glad because I was like, I can't record. It's so hot. I can't record like a new video. It's so fucking grim at home. It's so grim in this office. And I'd put 3 shorts out and like 3 of them got like 200k views or something. It's like, what the fuck? On all 3 platforms, it did really well, which is a surprise. That's new. Normally, if I put out a video and I go, here's a video on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, it'll do well on one of them and absolutely dog shit on the others, or like mediocre. The fucking sprue goo one and the land speeder fix one and the heatwave one, absolutely nuts. And the funny thing about the heatwave one is I actually uploaded that video a year ago. I just cut the advert out. You know, I just fucking cut the advert out and re-uploaded it. Absolutely scammed. I just re-uploaded the same video. That's a trick that I learned from Instagram. Is Instagram, all of the videos that you watch are probably re-uploads. Like the sprue goo one and the fucking base one, the land speed effects, was from my main video about Armageddon. But the heatwave one, my hair's very different because it was over a year ago I filmed that. Just re-uploaded it and got 200,000 views on Switch Stupid. Wild, bruv, wild. Speaking of how much glue do you still need in the jar to do that? I usually buy 2 bottles. I pour one out into the other one, so it's like 3/4 full, and then I just put plastic in there. Half is like your minimum, you know what I mean? If you get any lower than half, it's too late. Well, I mean, you can still do it, but you're just gonna have like, you're gonna make some, and then the brushes are gonna be able to reach very much. So 3/4, or like half, maybe pushing it. So half might be pushing it. But yeah, so multi-part Outriders got announced today. Week 2 sees the improved forces having fallen back in good order to Cloisters, a shanty town that lies between the Tempestal Victorium line and the heart of the hive mind. Heart of the hive, even. Ready to make their next stand against the brutal orc invaders. Now, I was trying to look at this. This is so weird, like, texturing. I was talking to a friend of mine and they were like, this is AI. And I was like, I don't know if it's AI, but they love to use AI at the minute. They love to use AI upscale. It's a bit weird, you know what I mean? I know it's like supposed to be like, oh, it's faded away because it's all like computerized, but it looks a bit strange, let's be honest. Let's be honest, looks a bit odd. So it'd be interesting to see what wins next, you know? I thought they weren't using AI. Yeah, I thought that until they had a fucking 6-finger space marine, you know what I mean? They had a 6-finger space marine like 2 weeks ago, if that. It just looks a bit funky. Looks a bit funky. So it'd be interesting to see what gets announced next. I mean, I think when we saw the orcs on Friday with the big summer preview, it was obvious we were going to get Space Marine 1 soon enough because orcs and Space Marines are the first codexes, let's be honest, you know? That's not even a hearsay or anything. That is just fact. His Orcs and Space Marines are the first one that are going to come out. So it's obvious that we're going to get a Space Marine reveal either today or whenever they announce this, or on the big summer preview, right? So, I mean, if Orcs are going to win, we probably would have seen Space Marines on Friday and seen an Orc truck today. So, these Space Marines have no timeline in which we got 3 weeks of Orc previews over the Moneymakers. Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying that, like, if Orcs would have won, if it is legit, which you never really know, let's be honest, it's just a bit of fun. It's just a bit of marketing hype, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I played Space Marines and I helped unlock these. That's what. It's just marketing hype. It's not for you as like an ongoing player. It's just for people who are getting into it. But if it had been Orcs, you would have seen Space Marines on Friday, you know. Oh, so they can use Space Wolves. They're fucking right there, mate. There they are. Can you use these with Space Wolves? Probably. You can definitely use these with Space Wolves, right? I know they have Thunder Walls that fit the same role, but. That's my last job for them wanting me to use AI. Don't make me leave the hobby. Well, they said they weren't going to use AI, but, you know. You know. I'd rather just worse at it. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, Thunderworld's way more fun. So what Warhammer Drama Review week guys been seeing, chat? Before I get into the Meta Monday stuff. It's been a while since you've done Meta Monday. The guy who used to do it all, JCMS, kind of dropped off the face of the earth. Kind of disappeared. Didn't want to make the fucking content anymore. I understand. Having to manually type up all the data again was brutal. I hated it. The best thing to ride is dinosaurs. Exodite hype. Also very true. I saw the Glass Half Dead. Whilst I have fell out with him, thought he was a cool guy, I actually think he's kind of cringe now because he said Gunpla's cringe. Which I think is valid. You know what I mean? It's like valid like criticism. Like, I think he is cringe for thinking Gunpla's cringe. He's made some Exodites from Seraphon today. He posted on his Instagram earlier. Look quite cool. Look quite cool to be fair. Oh, that was the other thing. Chat, I did a thing this weekend. I've not been able to sleep very well because of the heat, right? I think you can all relate. Right? It's been pretty brutal. It's been pretty grim, let's be honest. It's been pretty horrible. But I've been busy. Look, this is the website. I suppose like shopping chat, right? This is the website. Look at this, events and tournaments. Ah! It's the Hellstorm Wargaming rules pack hosted on hellstormwargaming.co.uk. Rather than using a Google Doc that now has an advert because I use Bitly. Fuck Bitly. Look at this fucking rules pack, dude. Now whenever people are like, what's in your rules pack? I can just go to hellstormwargaming.co.uk/GT-RTT-rules pack. You know? And you can click around. Look, let's go to the fucking tournament guidelines. Oh, look at that. Chat's bro's been fucking coding. Bro's been coding. He's been doing a little bit of HTML again. Like he did back in college. Oh, look at it. Isn't it wonderful? You scroll back to the top. And go back to the top. Code of conduct. Look at that. Oof. I went a bit too far. That's fine. Who cares? Was that webpage made with AI? No. What do you mean? What the fuck did you take me for? What the fuck did you take me for? You know I did computer science at college, right? You know I was like a programmer for 7 years. Do you know before I did my stupid Warhammer things, I used to have like a real job. I used to manage the content of the University of Sheffield Engineering Department. You know, I used to do all the website for those. I just did it again. I can't wait for the Squarespace advert read. Nah, WordPress for life. WordPress for life, bro. It was made with AI, actual intelligence. What do you mean sound sus? What do you mean sound sus? You can click around, look. It's got a fucking... It's just HTML, it's just a few hyperlinks. And all the rules pack, you can always check all the information. It's the same as it was in my other one. So anyway, it's a new rules pack. It's all hosted on the website now, so it's way more professional, looks sick, looks lit. Really happy with it. So I've been doing that this weekend. Like, over the last couple of weeks. Nah, I'd say last couple of weeks. I lie. I did it last week. I did it last week and over the weekend, alright? When I was like, it's 40 degrees, Friday night. What I'm going to do, I'm going to sit here in my sweatbox and code. I was like, hell yes, dude. So now if you take a look, you can also buy tickets using the link. We do have an event on the 12th. I have a video coming out this week about all of the rules for 11th edition that I think need an FAQ. And I've already realised that I've missed loads. So I'm going to have to go back and record some more. But it's all the things that I'm going to have to like make an FAQ for before the 12th, because there's currently no rules that like address them, you know? So it's So it's a bit weird, but it's a bit exciting that we run an event because there's so much that didn't come up. Like Vince, Pleasant Kenobi said today, 3 that he spotted is the, like I said, I'm on stream, I'm going to be going over it. The Sanguinor doesn't work. It's a terrible model, the Sanguinor. If you Miraculous Savior in your opponent's turn, you can't move in your following turn. If you Deep Strike, you can't move for a whole turn. Because Miraculous Savior is Ingress move into engagement range after an opponent's charged. But then Ingress says that you can't move until the next start of the next charge phase. So if you Ingress in the charge phase, which is not the start of the charge phase, it's the end of the charge phase. You then can't pile in, can't consolidate, and then in your turn you also can't move because you've still not had a start of the charge phase. And currently there's no limit on how many command points you can gain in a single turn. And it looks like you might be able to modify the number of extra attacks you have, even though in the core rules in 10th edition, all of that was pretty clear. So the game's pretty fucked right now. The game's pretty fucked. I made some websites in 2003. They were shy. It's a lot easier now. WordPress and guides are really good. Not Old World. Fucking WordPress and guides. Just really handy. That's where we were. Where am I? There I am. Alright, chat. We're giving away Orcs from Armageddon today. We're giving away Orcs from Armageddon. But first we need to talk about a couple of armies. Alright. We need to talk about a couple of armies that have been playing the game. So like I said, I've been putting some data together. I've been doing a little bit of win rate Wednesdays, like I used to for Age of Sigmar, and Meta Mondays. Look. 11th edition is out. 11th edition is out now. And people have been playing tournaments quite a lot. You know, there's been quite a few tournaments happening over on BCP. None of them huge, to be honest. There's not really been any huge 11th edition events yet. But there has been a couple. You know, there has been a few. And we've got some early metadata regarding, like, armies that are, like, competing and how well they're doing. Now, before I get into it, I want to make it fully clear that this data is not to say it's not concrete, but it's very early on, and it's some of the sample sizes are quite small because it's very early in the edition. There's like a good couple of handfuls of events that have been happening. There's been some 20-person events, there's been 5-person events, there's been 15-person events. It's a bit all over the shop. Normally with Meta Mondays and win rates and stuff like that, you want to look at like GTs and stuff, but because we're so early in the edition, there just isn't enough. If we're looking at like metadata of GTs, we're looking at like one of, I can't remember, I think there's like one event that's like a GT, right? There just isn't enough data to take anything like concrete right now, but I think it's fun to have a look at what's happening early on. All right. So I've put together some data. I've pulled together all of the events, excuse me, all the events I could find that kind of like made sense, and put them, I've gathered all the data about what they played, what they won, you know, what they lost, essentially. And it's garnered some quite interesting information early on. The problem is the amount of data that we're using for some of these win rates are essentially exceptionally screwed. Just remember that. Especially when we look at like Imperial Agents, Chiefs of the Cults, and Deathwatch. You know, probably the 3 least played factions. Anyway, I'll show you. So I put together a graph. I've like put together all the data and I put together a graph. And here it is. Here's the army win rate versus games played meta snapshot for the first 2 weeks of 11th edition. Or 2 weeks-ish. And as you can see, there are some armies that are doing quite well. There's some armies that are doing so bad. So how to read this graph. And I should probably move myself out of the way so you can actually see what's going on. Hello. Wait. Do I just get rid of chat for a bit? Chat, you're going to have to go for a bit. Just for a little bit. All right. So how to read this graph is that Green is above 50% win rate. Red is below 50% win rate. And we have all of the orders of the armies in order of their highest win rate versus lowest win rate. And the gold line that is overlaid over this line chart is essentially the amount of games played. So this is like how much data we actually have to work out or take in what the data means. And also, Daniel, thank you for the 23 months. Let me quickly add you to the giveaway. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Thanks for the 2 years nearly. Daniel 91. Thank you, mate. So as you can see, these are all the armies that we've got data for. I believe every army is here. I don't think I've missed any, or any have been missed. But as you can see, it's a little. I mean, one thing I will say is no army is like. There's a few armies that are underperforming. None of it is like exceptionally underperforming, and none of it is exceptionally overperforming. But some stuff is looking good, some stuff is looking pretty bad, and so a lot of stuff is looking pretty middle. So if we start at the bottom to start with, okay, we have Chaos Knights around, like, I think this is 40%. Yeah, we got Chaos Knights. I've actually got the list. Let me just get the list so I can read it out to you. 36% win rate with Chaos Knights. By far the worst army in the game. But they also, for this data, only have 43 games. So it's like not a huge data point. It's one of the I think what's the lowest? We've got Chaos Knights at 43, and then we've got G-Stealer Cults at 43 as well, and then Imperial Agents at 10. So they're like one of the smallest faction data points that we got so far. So it's showing that like Chaos Knights aren't great, but also aren't great with these players. That's what we've got to remember. Big Mac and Fries, thank you for becoming a member, dude. Really appreciate it. Big Mac and Fries, thank you, mate. So it's a really low win rate. They're currently the worst army as of the first 2 weeks. But also, like I said, we've got to remember data points. But we can say this for every single army, either for there's too little or too much data, for example. But I think it's just interesting to have a look. We've got Chaos Knights, Death Guard, Astra Militarum, all below 40% initially, which is pretty poo, 38 and then 36 respectively. I mean, what does it tell you? What does it tell you? Is that it's interesting that Chaos Knights are down here and Imperial Knights are all... Wait, where are they? Where's the Imperial Knights gone? Oh, Imperial Knights, are they? No, there they are. No. Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights early on aren't actually overperforming like everyone they thought they would. What does that mean? Normally, I'd say is that like, oh, well, Chaos Knights aren't doing so well is because loads of people have picked them up because they think they're really strong, so it's skewing the data. But Chaos Knights are actually one of the smallest data sets we've got. So it's just showing the people that have picked up Chaos Knights aren't doing so well with them. You know, it's kind of like that sort of mindset. When we look at like Space Marines, for example, they have the highest games played at 215. Obviously, Space Marines being one of the largest factions available. Obviously, you've got all the breakdowns. Don't get me wrong. You got all of the breakdowns, but Space Marines as a whole are the most popular faction in the game. They have the most data sets at like 200 plus, whereas their win rate is actually quite low. It's like, what was the win rate again? 47%. So just, you know, the Goldilocks zone of 45 to 55, right? Is like Space Marines are actually quite low, but they have the most data points. So you could actually say that that faction is probably not doing quite as well in terms of data because they have more players. You know, I actually found that when I was going through the events and the breakdown, is a lot of Space Marine players are actually winning tournaments, but equally they're also going 0-3. You know what I mean? So they're kind of like cancel each other out quite a lot. Miniature Staticus, thank you for the gift. Appreciate it, bud. Appreciate it. That's very kind of you. Maybe you should be coming to do this. So like I said, Astra Time, Death Guard, Chaos Knights, all the worst. Imperial Agents, one of the worst, smallest data set. So what does that mean? It means that the 10 people playing Imperial Agents, or the 10 games that Imperial Agents have, You know, they were having the best time. They were doing pretty good, actually, because no one was playing them. You know? They're typically the faction that the most number of new players play. Yeah, the most new players, but also just most in general, which means that the skill set of the players is a lot more varied. If you see something where it's like low... Essentially, it's a way to understand metadata, or I keep calling it metadata, even though that's a different word, but... I just realized I've not got a fucking video player. I've just got like a random YouTube video I was watching earlier. Never mind. Shout out to the Banjo-Kazooie fucking throwback. The thing is, what you have to understand when you're looking at like metadata and like win rates and games played and stuff like that, is that the higher the player, the higher the games played, the more chance of like you'd normally think the more data that you have, the more true that the result is. So the more games played, the more true the faction win rate. But what you have to remember is because we have like a very wild different, the variable that we have is player skill set, right? The wildest variable that we can't control is player skill and how they play the game, and which we can't control, and we can't measure that. That's not something you can measure. So the more games that you have, I actually think the win rate starts to vary way more than if you have a really small set of data, but too small starts showing the player skill the opposite way of saying that these are like faction specialists that are doing really well with the army. So you kind of have to like take that into consideration, and we want just average data all the time to hopefully average everything out so that win rates would make more sense. But basically, long story short, the more people, the more games played, the more variety of player skill we're registering. The less players played, if we've got like a high win rate and it's low players, we're probably looking at like faction specialists. So those things are the things you got to kind of like measure, because like we can't really look at anything else. That's kind of the problem. Or at least I don't, as far as I don't know. I'm not a stats expert, don't get me wrong. But that's how I understand like games play versus win rate. So I'm sure someone else will come in and be like, well, you could do this and you could do that. But the biggest variable is the person playing, which we can't measure. So unless we start measuring like ELO score for all of these things as well, then it make a big difference. So as I said, is that like Space Marines, the largest data set, one of the lowest or like mid-range win rates, a lot more variety in player. So bang on average, or like in the Goldilocks zone, we're looking from Dark Angels all the way up to Adeptus Mechanicus. So like Adeptus Mechanicus here to Dark Angels, which is here. This is our Goldilocks zone. Dark Angels obviously on the lower end at 46%. Adeptus Mechanicus at 54%. This is where we want all of the armies. So if you look at Dark Angels that are lowest, you can see that all of these armies sink quite far below, especially when it comes to Chaos Knights and stuff. Chaos Knights have not had a good early like intro into 11th edition, you know. Chaos Knights, and surprisingly Death Guard. This one really surprised me. I think Death Guard maybe got hit a little bit more than they should, but also they were kind of relying on Defilers, so good riddance. But like Death Guard being one of the worst ones, I think is very surprising, because I think they could look quite good on paper. Have a look at the detachments. We'll go more specific after we've done the main win rate. I think a data point of round 1 would be good for all faction, like a percentage chance to win on round 1 to 5, all length of game win rate. Yeah, there's also data that we just don't have that sort of access to. You know what I mean? We just don't have that access to that. So yeah, so like I said, like Legions of Votann, Admech Legions of Votann, Grey Knights, Sororitas, Tau Empire. I think again, surprisingly, on paper, Tau Empire look like one of the strongest armies that have come out. Are actually like fairly middling. Tau Empire, as per usual, at 51%. You know what I mean? I thought so, but the infantry was so slow. Yeah, I think we're going to see that when we look at some of the top the top armies that are actually doing quite well. Adeptus Custodes also bang on 50%. Yeah, 50% win rate with Adeptus Custodes, which is super interesting. And Blood Angels, another interesting one. Blood Angels have a lot of fast-moving melee units. They don't have the Sanguinor because he doesn't work, but he's also like a fairly middling data set. So definitely an interesting one. I think G's to the Cults had, like I said, one of the lowest, along with not the lowest, but only 43 games played, like Chaos Knight. So you can say these are faction specialists, and these are doing quite well, whereas these faction specialists aren't doing quite well, you know. Whereas if you scroll up, we start looking at the top armies, you know. After Admech, we start getting into the 56% win rate. So Emperor's Children, middling data set, fairly strong army, you know. Fairly strong, 56%. Just slightly above average. I think Emperor's Children are a really strong army. I've been playing them for a couple of weeks. I kind of had like an epiphany where I said, I think I'm an Emperor's Children player at heart, because they changed the entire trajectory of my channel, you know. Once upon a time, like 2 years ago, a year ago even, I used to do drama farming, you know what I mean? I used to do all that shit, and I do it much less now, especially as like video format, because Emperor's Children changed my channel completely, and they made me do really well. So that trajectory that Emperor's Children sent me on when I started doing those sorts of videos, great. I'm an Emperor's Children player, clearly. But I think it's just super interesting is they probably, like, not escaped like bandits, but did quite well when it came to, like, the updates. The Defilers got nerfed, but not a lot of other stuff got nerfed. A lot of stuff actually came down in points. The Winged Demon Prince, is it more expensive? But that's fair enough, because the Winged Demon Prince is really fucking good, and taking 2 is pretty brutal. But 1 and another Demon Prince on foot is pretty sick, actually, you know? Especially because the board, the terrain's a lot closer, it's a lot easier to hide things, a lot easier to get into combat now. So Emperor's Children did quite well, and it's clearly showing with this data. One of the highest, I think I skipped over Necrons. Necrons were the second highest data set. Necron. Yeah, Necrons were the second highest. It's kind of like Space Marines, Necrons, Tyranids, then Tau, which is super interesting. So Tyranids, again, fast moving, 58% win rate, again, slightly high, but nothing too crazy. Until we start getting into the Thousand Suns era, you know. Now, the first 2 armies and the third one have the least amount of data sets. Like Deathwatch had 10 games registered, that's like 2 GTs basically. But Thousand Suns did quite well. Psychic got a hell of a buff. Psychic's really good now. Everything in that army has ignores cover on all the infantry and stuff, because they all either have flamers or an icon of flame. So a lot of their shooting ignores like cover modifiers, and it's showing, you know, with a healthy 60% win rate early on. So Thousand Suns are just a very, very, very much quite a strong army, to be honest. They do quite well because they've got a lot of good psychic abilities. They've got a lot of buffing capabilities. They've got a lot of movement shenanigans, and they're quite sheety, you know. They've got a lot more. They've got mortal wounds in the pocket when they need it. They've got ignores cover pretty much everywhere. Magnus is good, but just psychic in general is pretty fucking good. And but the one that surprised me is Deathwatch. Deathwatch kind of, like I said, they didn't really get an update. Deathwatch are just Black Spear Task Force, you know. Again, the lowest data set, 10 players, 60% win rate. So on average, in the 2 GT data sets we've got, they went 3-2. That's what we kind of have to remember is with this sort of data, when it's like, they have a 60% win rate. That's crazy. They went 3-2 at a tournament, you know, twice, let's say, on average. On average, they went 3-2. Would you say if you went to a tournament, you're overperforming if you went 3-2? Probably not. And that's what we've got to remember with this such low data set. Now, Black Templars coming in at 60% win rate as well. Similar win rate to Deathwatch. Slightly more data at 48 games. Black Templars also looking pretty good. They have like some interesting detachment shenanigans because they are obviously Space Marines, but they have the Black Templar supplement to play with. So they have all of those, and they have all of the extra 1 detachment point stuff to play with, like the character buffs and the Emperor's Champion buffs. They look pretty fucking good. Again, I think the amount of options that the Space Marine detachment, the Space Marine supplement armies have is super fascinating. It's surprising that we've not seen like Blood Angels here. We've got Dark Angels down here. We've got Space Wolves down here as well. It's surprising that we've not seen like some of those higher up, you know. but because of the amount of options they have, the amount of the detachment capabilities that they have to choose from, it's surprising that they're not higher up. But just Black Templars are. But again, not many games, faction specialists. Now, Orcs is a super interesting one because they actually have a fairly average games played data set. As you can see, they're like it's like 100 games or something. They're like kind of in the middle, you know. They're not the highest data set, but they're also not the lowest. And like I said, if we start looking at data set and thinking, oh, if there's too many, it's probably because there's loads of new people. If there's too little, it's just faction specialists. We're kind of teetering on the lower side, but definitely higher up than just faction specialists. And they've come away with a 61% win rate after the first 2 weeks. So on paper, with the very limited data that we have, Orcs are the best army coming out of 11th edition. You know, they are the strongest army so far. That is like I said, the data is not concrete because of this fluctuation in how many data sets we have for all of them. But initially, they're looking pretty fucking good. They are consistently winning games. So like I said, 61%, again, kind of like when we said 60%, it's 3 out of 5 games. But 3 out of 5 games leading to 4, you know, rather than just bang on 3 out of 5. They're leading more towards 4 games. Only ever so slightly than everyone else, but more nonetheless, you know. So that's our like early data set. Like I said, feel free to do what you want with this. Take it away. I'll put my fucking camera back and then you can do whatever with it. But that's the early data set that we're looking at so far. Like I said, it's a very much a snapshot. It's very early on. It's not exactly concrete. You can't say, oh my god, Orcs are the best and everyone's going to win with them. But what we can say is that Orcs look pretty fucking strong early on, you know? I guess it's because Orcs actually had changes to the faction pack, unlike a lot of factions. Yeah, Orcs had a lot of changes. They've also got new units to play with. And you also have to consider that Orcs are like a horde army, a horde melee army. And they are obviously a lot stronger in the early game. A lot of these at the top, barring like Deathwatch, Thousand Suns, a lot of these at the top are fast combat armies rather than shooting. So I'm going to quickly, while you guys look at this, I'm going to quickly look at fixing my screen behind me. That's where I hobby chat. I just put the telly on and then hobby away. I reckon you need 2 more weekends for the meta to settle. Yeah, the meta isn't settled, that's all. Like, just to clarify, the meta is not settled one bit. The meta is up in the air. I'm not trying to say it is. This is the fact. I think I've been pretty clear to say the opposite, actually. But what I can say with confidence is that Orcs are looking pretty good early on. Lots of assumptions are made in the early doors. Like I said, it's I've only just tuned in. Well, like I said, it's very early on. There's not enough data set for all of these games so far. Like Imperial Agents and Deathwatch are complete outliers. It's an interesting 2 weeks, you know, definitely interesting. A lot of people who'll be playing these games will be playing 11th edition wrong. That's what you got to kind of remember. Is that a lot of people play these games won't be able to play the game properly because they'll just make mistakes and they won't realize. But this is from the data from the first 2 weeks of tournaments. It's a snapshot, not a fact. So I think there was one tournament. There was a tournament that I actually was going to go to this weekend called Naughty K at Just Play, and Lewis Ashes actually won it. Now this is the tiniest orc list until you realize what it actually says. He was playing Tactical Brigade and Freebooter Crew. They were the 2 detachments. So let's have a quick look at what Tactical Brigade and Freebooter Crew does. So Freebooter Crew is a 2 detachment one. It says each time an Orc's infantry, mounted or walker unit makes an attack, that attack has sustained hits if you're within range of objective marker, sorry, in range of your loot objective, or you target a unit in range of the loot objective, and then you make one of them. Every command phase, you choose an objective, basically. So I think anything that's kind of like interacting with objectives is really pushed right now because of the fact that objectives are huge compared to what they were before. You know? I've kind of said this with like the interaction of objective markers versus terrain objectives. It's actually quite huge how different it is. So, and then Tactical Brigade is obviously the new one. Storm Boys have battle line, and when a friendly boys commander Storm Boys unit select to advance or fall back, that does not prevent it from doing an action. Now, they've actually gone for Taken Hold, which is super interesting. Because Freebooter Crew is Taken Hold, because it's obviously all about objectives, but they had that access to the disposition disruption. Let's have a quick look. They've got Boss Snickrot, Gazkul Thraka, and Zodgrod Worksnagger. Now, they haven't used the War Journal or Battleforge or whatever, so I don't actually know what's attached where, because that's not super clear. Now, you do have to attach characters at the start of the list step, so if this was in my tournament, all these characters would be solo. I don't think that's the case, though. But all of these characters, as per the rules, are running solo. That would be quite surprising for Taken Hold, but you just never know. Now it says we've got Boss Snickrot, we've got Gazkul Thraka, which is obviously really good. Zodgrod Worksnagger, which we've got 21 Gretchen, so he's going to be going there. We've got Big Boss, Deathkiller War Trike, probably going with the Warbikers. We've got Pain Boy with Bionic Workshop. A unit of 20 boys, 5 units of 10 boys, and then 3 units of Storm Boys. Another aggression, 3 units of 10 commandos, and then 3 Warbikers as well. So this is what? It's 30... 80, 100 boys or boy equivalent, plus 32 Gretchen, plus the fucking all the characters and the bikes and stuff. This is a real horde army, a real orc horde army, and like I said, it's playing Take and Hold. So it's all about holding objectives, you know. Why have we got this open twice? Sure. So we look at primary mission, look at Take and Hold. We can have a nosy at like what they're actually playing. What is his list format? DQ immediately. Yeah, this would be... in my tournaments, this would be a DQ. Yeah, this would be a DQ. But Battlefield Dominance, we've got control more objectives than your opponent. At the end of the command phase, from the second battle round onwards, you get 3 for every objective you control. And then for every objective you control that's including your home, you get 5 instead. Very, very easy. Very, very easy mission when you've got 100 boys walking about, you know, a lot of the time, or part of the game, level 5+ invuln. Sorry, why DQ? Well, it's not built properly. It's not super clear because they've got 5 boys, but also they've not attached any characters, and you have to do that at the list step now. So, like, the Deathkiller War Trike is probably attached to this unit, but it... Oh, actually, it's 3 units of Warbikers. Even I read that wrong. It's 9 bikes. Why is it listed like that? You know? It's 9 bikes. It's actually 3 units of 3. I didn't even realise that. It's a very confusing way to write this list. But also, they have not attached any characters. So... Anyway. So, Battlefield Dominance, the mirror have taken hold. Very easy for this sort of Orc Swarm army. There's so many models, isn't it? 50 boys, 70 boys, 95 boys, and then another 30, so it's 125 boy equivalent. And then 9 bikes, then 32 Gretchen, then all of the characters. That's a lot. So yeah, Battlefield Dominance for an Orc army, looking pretty good. Determined Acquisition, which is another one for the primary disruption. So this Take and Hold is at the end of any battle round. For each objective you control that you did not control at the start of the turn, score 2 VP. Why is it still playing? What's happening? So control the new objective, get 2 points. And then at the end of your turn, or the end of the 5th battle round, the end of the command phase, or end of the turn in the 5th battle round, score 3 for every objective you control. And then 3 points every objective in your opponent's territory. So you control 1 expansion from turn 2. You gain 2 points for holding it. And then next turn, you're going to score 3. And then another 3 for holding your expansion. So that one objective, if you grab the expansion and hold it into turn 2, is 8 points out of 100. Just one objective. Plus one at home, that's another 3. Plus one at your other one in your expansion objective, that's another 3. Super easy, super easy. Taking hold with the swarm army, absolutely horrific. Versus Purge the Foe, which is probably going to be one of the most common. I think I saw a GT that got announced. They announced the dispositions. And I think the 2 most common were Taking Hold and Purge the Foe. So they're obviously like the linchpin equivalent. And this one are going to be the most played, probably. Control 1 or more central objectives, you get 3 points. That's the big brick in the middle that sometimes splits into 2. And then that's any turn. Score 3 points, just hold the middle. Second to 4th battle round, for each objective you control, excluding home, you get 5 points. And then end of your turn, 5th battle round, for each objective you control, you get 5 points. This is such an easy primary. This is such an easy primary, you know. Control the center for 3 and then get, essentially, if you keep holding it, you get another 5 points. So 3 points turn 1, but it comes 8 for just holding the middle. Amazingly, the most common dispositions are the ones with the furious actions. Yeah, it's funny that when you can let your army do the stuff it's good at doing, i.e. killing your opponent, it's like the whole point of Warhammer is to kill your opponent and stand on circles. Now they're making you stand on terrain and not do actions. If you just not do actions, you got more time to shoot and kill your opponent and stop them doing actions. So, against priority assets, another popular one, but not the most popular one. If you control 3 or more objectives, you get 4 points. That's the middle in your expansion. That's 4 points. And then at the end of your command phase, if you control 2 or more, including your home, including your home, you've got to hold 2 or more, you get 5 points. And if you control more, if you control more, you get another 4. So control 2, nice easy 5. Control more, so you're hoping to hold your home. Usually your expansion, and usually the middle one. Sometimes you need to hold 2 in the middle, but they're really close together. That's 9 points to 10, you know? Do that 5 turns in a row, or 4 turns in a row. That's like 45 points, you know? Or is it 36 points just for holding more? Explain expansion like I'm 5. My apologies. So, on every map, I'll just do a... I don't know why I didn't just look at those pictures. So they've kind of codified and also got rid of all the 10th edition rules. They've also got rid of all the 10th edition rules. They've kind of codified central and expansion. So if you look at a map, right? Let's look at a nice... Dawn of War, nice and easy, all right? Nice and easy. Dawn of War, okay? I sell 12, you sell 12, right? You have home objectives, is where the castle is, okay? They're home objectives. You have the central objective, which is in the middle. Expansion objective. When a boy grows up and sees a pretty girl, there's an expansion. Nice, nice, solid. An expansion objective is essentially the objective that's in no man's land, but it's closer to you, you know? As you can see, this objective here is 1 inch away from the red deployment zone. This one is 1 inch from the blue one, but it is... like 8 inches away from this side, you know. An expansion objective is this one because it's going to be easier for the red player to hold this one down here because it's a lot closer to their deployment zone and a lot safer to get to, whereas this one still fairly safe. They can still run into here, for example, but they have to cross here and they're not necessarily in the terrain, and then they are a lot closer to their opponent. So expansion objectives is usually the ones on the outside. But your expansion versus your opponent's usually the one that's closer to your deployment zone. You know, another one would be this search and destroy, right? This one here on the left is the blue expansion because it's like 7 inches away, whereas it's like 15 inches away from this one. So your expansion is the one that's closest to your home, that's not the center. Again, here, nice and close here. Quite far away this side, but you do get some cover to play with. You get the idea. You get the gist. So that's what I mean when I say expansion. So when I'm saying that's like control 2 or more objectives to control more, control the center in your expansion, which are fairly close, ignore your opponents, you get 9 points a turn, you know? And then if you hold it, at the end, you get another 4 points. So it's like 13 points a turn, easily. The boards are tiny, yeah. They're not big anymore. And they've got Purge and Secure, which is against reconnaissance. So, like, don't forget that, like, aren't they both expansions? One is your natural expansion. Did I not say that? Did I say not their expansion, but it's like your versus your opponent? Did I not say that? I'm pretty sure I did. They're both expansion objectives, but like one's your expansion, one's their expansion. You know? The whole point is like expanding your area of control early. That's why it's called expansion, you know? Anyway, Purge and Secure, which is against reconnaissance. Any battle round, one of your units were destroyed this turn by friendly units within range or an objective marker. So you kill stuff while stood on the objectives, you get 3 points. Or one of my units to start within range of objective markers were destroyed this turn. So you kill stuff on objectives, or you kill while on objectives, you get rewarded for it. As you know, Warhammer's about holding objectives and killing stuff. And then for each objective you control, excluding your home from turn 2, you get 4 points. And then control one of my objectives you did not control at the start of the turn, 3 points. So grab a new one, kill stuff on objectives. You know? So 5 relatively easy primaries, you know? 5 relatively easy primaries. Take and Hold and Purge the Foe definitely looking like the most popular. If we actually look at Lewis and see who he played against, Stephen, who was playing Purge the Foe, so round 1, he was playing against Purge the Foe. He had a movable object, which we've seen quite a few times now. So control the center, and then get points for every objective you control. So nice and easy. So he played against Imperial Agents. And then he played against Sam, who was playing Purge the Foe, Take and Hold. Which one was he using? Cool. Cool. This is going to be the problem. This is going to be the problem with early game fucking... Oh, they put it in the list? Wait, let me put Sam. No. This is going to be the problem with early games as well, is we don't really know what everyone's playing. I've noticed that people have Astra Military like Purge the Foe like this, but I don't know if that means they've added that or it's like been added to the app. But then Dan Parr was running Reconnaissance. So round 3, it was Take and Hold versus Reconnaissance. So we know he's playing this one, which is quite easy, I think. So I think it's very interesting. It's super interesting that, like, one, we can actually see all of the primaries now, but it's super interesting that we can see that this list... Oh, sorry, this list that he was playing... Lost it now. We can actually see... Oh, it's pretty good at Take and Hold, actually. Because it's got fucking loads of bodies. And let's see what he played against, you know. Which I think is an interesting thing that we can do with 11th edition. But also, this hasn't been streamlined yet. I think we should have it in either the top of the list or it should be like here. Because it isn't for every faction, which is kind of annoying. You know. We don't know what everyone's playing just yet unless they make it clear in the list. Because there's been no, like, real good changeover of, like, okay, now we have... a list, or like we've got a faction, let's set our disposition. So we're kind of relying on people to kind of like clarify what disposition they're playing or what army they have access to. It's one thing that I've had to make super clear in my tournament pack is I've had to say, tell me what dispositions you have access to, tell me which one you're playing as part of the list, because it's not going to be super clear. And I also think, I don't think that should be revealed as part of the submission step. I think it should be a list step thing. But I think it should be part of the list, and I think it should be private until then. It's almost like BCP is out of date and unfit for purpose. BCP is pretty out of date. Yeah, it's pretty rough in terms of a system now. It's definitely needed a lot of investment and they just haven't bothered. They've just had investment and done fuck all with it. But like if I'm going to an event in a couple of weeks and I don't think let's have a look, see if I can actually set my faction. So if I set faction, so I'm going to actually be playing Dank Angels, for example. I can set the force disposition. Okay, so it does let you actually pick it. But then you've got to make sure everyone picks it. And you've got to make sure that it's right. That you actually have access to it, you know? Because the problem is what if you don't have access to it? You know what I mean? I just say I'm playing fucking Take and Hold. What army are you playing? I'm playing Gladius. Why is it Hellstormwargaming? What the fuck? God. I've got so many fucking teams that I've got access to, but for some reason... But for some reason I can't delete them. You know? There's so many different, like, Hellstormwargaming, Hellstormwargame, Hellstorm this, Hellstorm that. But I can't delete them. I can't get rid of them. Can event organizers make it mandatory? That's a great question. Let's have a look. Let's see if I can make it mandatory. Event details, no. Game configuration. Singles, hide list, self-scoring. No. No, I can't make it mandatory as of yet. Nada. Nothing as of yet. So no, you can't currently make it mandatory. Maybe that'll be a thing that you can. But as it stands, nah. So it's nice that you can set them. Definitely, it's nice that you can set them as part of the app, but not making them mandatory is crazy. Because it's like, well, you're going to change it, can't you? You know? Yeah, I'm playing fucking priority assets this round. If you're not set it on your list. It seems a bit odd. I think I've got a contact. I do not. No wonder melee's good with a board size and terrain. Yeah, like fast melee's good because you can close the gap really well, and you have to stand on the objectives to win the game. You either stand on the objectives and get charged, or you don't stand on the objectives and you don't win the game. So it's like, that is why like melee's really quick, you know, and really good, and that's why you're starting to see early on that this is like quite strong. I'm lame. How could you? How could you? I've explained why orcs are really good. But yeah, taking hold, purge the foe, two of the strongest. I've gone over purge the foe already, but like's been said, in the game now, in 40k right now, is that like, to win games you have to kill your opponent, you know, and you have to stand on objectives. Now you can have that where you don't have to kill your opponent as much, and then stand on objectives and then do actions. But a lot of the secondaries as well are usually related to killing your opponent, you know? Like if you look at these, if you look at all of these, you could arguably say all of them are related to killing your opponent, you know, or all but like a couple. Grievous blow, kill an opponent. Tempted target, might have to kill an opponent off an objective. Assassinate, kill a unit. Kill a character, sorry. Beacon, probably the only one where you don't have to kill your opponent. However, because Beacon is scored at the end of your opponent's turn, then killing them makes scoring Beacon a lot easier, you know? Behind enemy lines, being behind your opponent's line, again, kind of sub as a beacon. If you kill your opponent, it's much easier to get there. Bring it down is kill a vehicle. Burden of Trust, probably the only one you have to kill anything. Center ground, you might have to kill something in the middle. Cleanse, if you kill stuff off the objectives, you can control them to do the action. Defend stronghold is don't have opponent in deployment zone for 5 points. So kill your opponent. Display of mights have more units in no man's land than them. Kill your opponent, they have less units. You know, engage no fronts. Arguably, that's the one where you don't need to kill your opponent. Forward position is control your opponent's home and or each expansion objective. So kill your opponent, they're not holding the objective, so you can score that one now. No prisoners, kill your opponent. Outflank, again, one of the few where you don't actually have to interact with your opponent whatsoever. Overwhelming force, kill your opponent. Plunder. Okay, you don't have to kill your opponent for that one, fine. And then secure no man's land, hold 2 objectives with no man's land. If you kill your opponent, it's much easier. So arguably, like, maybe 3 of them, you actually don't have to interact with your opponent. And then the rest you do. So why are you thinking, I'm going to play reconnaissance, I'm going to play fucking recon, sorry, not reconnaissance, disruption, when you're already trying to kill your opponent and then giving yourself other chores to do, where take and hold and purge the foe are, I'm going to kill stuff, I'm going to get rewarded with secondaries, I'm going to get rewarded with primaries at the same time. You know? That's the kind of like the issue we have with these force dispositions and the dispositions that we have right now, is that like why would you, when you can stand on objectives or kill your opponent outside of objectives, why would you go fucking, I'm gonna play death trap? Sure, death trap, look at this, I'm gonna stand on terrain and do actions where my opponent is just gonna kill stuff, grab an objective and just stand there, you know. You know, that's ultimately the issue we've got. That's going to be the very early on, especially because I don't think this system. I think this system is really fascinating, and I think it's really, really fun. I think the idea of it is really cool. My criticism isn't saying it's shit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that like it's extremely weighted right now, because you are rewarded with taking hold and pairs to foe for doing the thing you already want to do, which is stand on objectives and kill your opponent, whereas all the other ones have extra little bits that you've got to do. You know, extra little bits and bobs. It's like fucking disruption versus priority assets. We've done this one, do actions in the middle, you know, and then the other one is like do actions on terrain, but also that has a marker in it, you know? It's like, why are you trying to like complicate the game so much? Maybe you find it quite fun, you know? Maybe like armies that have like GC the Colts can probably have a great time doing like disruption and reconnaissance and stuff, but your other opponent is just having an easy time because all they have to do is kill you off objectives, get points, you know. GW may need to reduce the VPs on taking hold and paired missions. I 100% agree. Yeah, I 100% agree. The concept of it really fun. The actual like execution, I think, is just so skewed. That's the problem. It's just you do just have a harder time if you aren't playing one of these two, I think. You know, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's a harder game. Let's go fixed on secondaries. Engage plus something else. Well, the thing is, if you go fixed on secondaries, you can't even max them out, right? And which one are you going to take? You've got options. You've got 4 options, which are all kind of poo. Engage plus kill something, you know? So you can't even go full, like, pacifist mode. You have to take a kill something, or you can't win. If you really want to be like, oh, I'm going to play pacifist, fuck it, it's like you can't. I think it's a bit missing for these conversations tonight. Probably if your purge was low, it wouldn't work when you fight 5 night matchups. Very true. Very true. But I think you'll find a lot of the time is you don't always have to kill stuff. I mean, consecrated you do, but you can control objectives and score 30, 40 points, you know? Consecrators kill stuff on objectives. So when a friendly unit destroys them, a unit becomes consecrated. At the end of a turn, each consecration unit in range of an objective consecrates it. So with this one, you're just not going to be able to get 1 or 2 every turn, or you're never going to get 3 or more, you know? 1 or 2, you're going to kill a knight a turn on average, really. That's what you need to kill to keep in the game. So you're going to get 3 every turn at least. And then you control 1 to get 4. So that one's like not a problem. Pacifist when there is only war. Yeah, clearly never played fucking GC the Cult. Destroys Wrath, kill a unit every turn. You've got to kill a knight every single turn, you know. That's just one or more. Then control objectives and control more than the opponent. So that's Purge, just control more to win. One or more units were destroyed. And then more enemy units were destroyed. That's the hard one, you know. But it's also control one, kill one, control one, you know. And then kill more and then control your opponent's home. If for a mirror, if they were playing a mirror. Okay, what? Condemned. Choose 1 to 3 enemy units on the battlefield that were in range of objective markers or destroyed at least one friendly unit during your turn. If you cannot choose any unit on the battlefield, they are condemned. One or more condemned enemy units left the battlefield this turn, so kill one, get 5 points. Sick. Kill a knight. Easy. Purge against knights, yeah. Any command phase control an objective marker 4, and then control your opponent's home. So you have to hold more, yeah, but I don't see the problem with playing against knights with this. One or more, so you've got to kill one or more. So what we're saying is that with knights and chaos knights, if you're playing Purge to Foe, it's really hard because you won't be able to kill multiple units a turn. But a lot of them are kill one or more. And if you don't kill one or more knights, you probably lose because they have knights left, you know? On average, if your list can't kill a knight a turn, you've already lost the game. Just like wrap it up, you know? So I don't even know if the argument... I appreciate the thought process at Echo Delta. I'm not trying to say that, like, you're wrong or anything. But I appreciate the argument, but I'm also saying that it's like, well, you kill one or more, you still, like, max out primary quite easily. I played some games as Recon versus Purge. And it's really hard to win for Purge player. So Consecrate's the kill ones on objectives, right? And they're playing... Let's go to Matrix so I can see both. Triangulation. You control objective marker. One objective is triangulated. See reverse. One friendly unit within range of objective marker, including your home, and your turn. It controls that objective. It is triangulated. Place one of your operation markers. So you get 3. You basically get cumulative points depending on how many you've triangulated. Yeah, so that's a good primary encounter to Purge the Foe because you can't turn that off, right? I think that's the interesting thing. If you do it early on, you can only do it with one unit. But turn 1, end of your turn. It's a quite good secondary, to be fair. Yeah, it's quite good, actually. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It's quite good. But they can just score more if you stop doing this triangulation. You know? Because they can just kill stuff. I bet the same missions a Purge can't be cleared either. And also the Purge player can get it on the first turn. Yeah, they can consecrate turn 1. Oh, this stacks as well, doesn't it? It's not just that turn. Yeah, so they'll just stack this the same as you. It's almost the same mission. You're having to do actions. They're just having to kill stuff. You know? So if you don't stop triangulation, they're just scoring the same amount of points that you are. And you can only start scoring this from turn 2. They can score it from turn 1. Yeah, isn't this just easier? Isn't this mission just easier than the other one? So I say you should play Old World. Old World's decent. The rulebook's awful. The game's good. Learning to play Old World is awful. I think we all knew this was early access. All of this should be addressed in the first monthly patch. Whether GW will or not is a question. I don't think the primary mission should be patched in the first month. I think the patch was like, oh, this thing doesn't work. The video I'm coming out with tomorrow or Wednesday, all of these random rules don't interact with each other anymore and don't work. Like, why don't we have a command point limit anymore? That sort of shit should be patched. Not the primary cards. They should not be patched. They should be correct. You know? I don't think when they said patching, they were talking about forced disposition being absolutely brutal for one person and not for the other. I would hope the balance stuff that they're doing at the end of July, as far as I'm aware, because I don't think they're going to be doing it in the first 2 weeks, because that doesn't make sense. But I think the end of July is that should be like balancing the armies and make sure the rules actually function, not like the rules, like having these random FAQs are knocking about, you know, not having a limit on like command points, not like letting G's of the Cult revive, for example. That's what I expect to be balanced, not how dispositions work, you know. The Surgical website with the Old World rules is excellent. Yeah, what did I use? Old World List Builder? Old World Builder? Great website. It's not official though, is it? Wargames Workshop making something like that. You know? That's why I said Old World as a game is great, but like you have to use third-party tools to actually play it. Why? Why is that? Is a priority versus disruption mission really that lopsided? Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Me and Cal played it. It's like one of you does actions in the middle. The other one has to go and follow the markers around. So the guy in the middle just removes the ones that you're near. I think they might need a lot of data to make balancing dispositions. Did I do the wrong one? Priority versus disruption. No, that's the right one. Unless you're referring to something else. They might need a lot of data to make balancing dispositions fair. Is it just some detachment is busted and skews the disposition? Like I said, I think just fundamentally, taking hold and purge the foe rewarded for doing the thing that every other disposition is already doing, you know? Every disposition wants you to hold objectives. Every disposition needs you to kill stuff because that's Warhammer 101. And taking hold and purge the foe push you to do that more. Whereas all the other ones kind of like make you do that and do extra stuff to score primary. I think that's the issue. So... No, purge and take and hold are vegetative state auto scores for doing basic Warhammer. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Yeah, they are. They are fucking no thoughts, head empty Warhammer, I think. I think Purge and Take an Old set should have at least one mission with requires actions. Yeah, I think that'd be a good balancing. You know? I think that'd be a good way to balance it because the problem is there's two actions they gotta do. Sound, whatever. So it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, I will leak the problems with it as well. Is that the problem with dispositions right now is there is no limitation for what detachments you take, you know? Let's say I was playing Dark Angels. You know? Let's say I was playing Dark Angels. Let's say I was taking Fulgoris Task Force. You know? And then let's say I was taking... I don't know. What was I taking? Dark Flight Pursuit. So I'd have access to disruption and reconnaissance. Kind of poo if I want to kill stuff. But then I could just take interrogation conclave that buffs chaplains. And I don't need to take a chaplain in my army. That's where I think I'm going to draw the line. You know? I could take Fulgoris Task Force and Dark Flight Pursuit for 1 DP each. And then I could take Interrogation Conclave and not even bother taking a chaplain and then have access to Purge the Foe. Is that right? I don't think so. I don't think that's right, bruv. You can do that with any faction, by the way. It's not just Dark Angels. You know. Oh. It's just not working. Let's say I was playing Astra Militarum. I was playing Designation Force. Then I was playing fucking, I don't know. Where's all the other ones? Abhuman Auxiliaries, are they have two? And then I was playing Bridgehead Strike, but I had no Bridgehead related units, so I could take priority assets. So almost like Force Orcs did a lot. Maybe Disposition should have 1+ mandatory unit. I agree. So there should be mandatory units for detachments. Yeah, I think so. I think so, yeah. 100%. You know? Like, why the fuck isn't there? I'm hoping I can prove a point, chat. But, like, let's say I wanted to take Virulent Vectorum. That's a 3 detachment thing. So what I'm going to take is, like, Champions of Contagion, which is about Terminators. But I actually really like killing stuff, so I'm going to take Contagion Engines, but take a pure Terminator army, and then get Purge the Foe. Which is a little bit dumb. You know? It's like the Custodes, right? Custodes. Let's take fucking Shield Host. Oh, not even Shield Host. What was it? Lines of the Emperor, which has got Disruption. Let's take Might of the Moritai to get Purge the Foe. You know? I don't have to take any Walkers. I just want Purge the Foe. And I want to take it with Auric Champions, or I want to take it with Solar Spear. I can't take it with Solar Spearhead, to be fair. Maybe I want to take it with Null Maiden Vigil or whatever, you know? It just seems odd that that's allowed as it stands. That you can just go, what is the easiest disposition? I wonder if I have a 1 detachment point that I could just drop in to take it at no detriment whatsoever. The only detriment is you couldn't spend the detachment point on something else. Which is that a detriment, or is that just whatever? So anyway, that's where we're at. That's where we're at with the early metagame of 11th edition. Page of the Phone taking hold are 100% the most popular dispositions, and Orcs have come out on top. If you have just tuned in, here's the win rates for the past 2 weeks. So the first early 11th edition metagame is that Orcs are the strongest army by a slight margin, along with Black Templars, Deathwatch, and Thousand Suns. And arguably Chaos Demons are all the strongest factions. The weakest factions are Spades Wolves, Agents, Astra Militarum, Death Guard, and Chaos Knights. The games played is the amount of data points that I have to actually look at. What's winning, what's losing. It's very much in fluctuation. It doesn't mean Orcs are really broken. It just means early on, Orcs are proving a little bit of a problem. So people either haven't adapted or they're just really good. I don't know yet, you know? All the people telling scare stories about Tau need to repent. Well, Tau, like I said, they've got a lot more data sets than everyone else, you know? They're like top 3 data sets, or top 4. I think it's Space Marines, Necrons, Tyranids, and Tau. So there's a lot more fluctuation in that win rate. But they are better than they should be. They're more than 50%. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. Early on, in about a month's time, I think we'll have a better idea of what the win rate and the actual metadata looks like. We need a lot more data, especially because we're using data sets of like 10 for Deathwatch and 10 for Imperial Agents, which isn't real data. It's just 2 people going 3-0 or 0-3 or whatever. Not 3-0, 3-2 for Deathwatch, and then Imperial Agents were what? 40%, so they're winning like 2 games. They're going 2-3. That's the difference, you know. Deathwatch go 3. The 2 people go 3-2, and the Imperial Agents go 2-3, and it says they're the weakest time in the game and the strongest time in the game. Obviously, that's what you got to consider when we look at these data sets, right? Templars seem like a fluke. Templars don't have a lot of players. Yeah, same again. They got not a lot of games. 10 GTs tops, you know. That's what you've got to remember with all of this, is the amount of people playing is fluctuating wildly between armies. So yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Hopefully you enjoyed the Meta Monday breakdown. If you're watching this live, we're about to give away an orc army now. So I just need to tell everybody that is happening, and we're going to do that now. Oh, excuse me. So if you've been super chatting, become a member, gift a membership, and doing all those things, you are being entered to win a Orcs Armageddon set. So you are being entered in to win about 90 quid worth of Warhammer, I would say, if you bought it separately. I'm just trying to find a picture of it. Can't. Giving away a sizable chunk of the strongest army in the game. Can you believe? Can you believe I'm doing that? So this is what we're giving away. We're giving away a war boss, a big boss, a banner knob, a pain boy, a weird boy, a boy squad, a Gretchen squad, a war track, and a big mech Dakar rig. All right, it is more than a combat patrol. It's about 900 points of Warhammer. You will receive it for free to your house. I can't pay for taxes if you get any. I'm so sorry. You have to deal with that. But I will ship it to you for free anywhere in the world. I won't charge you postage. I won't charge you anything for the models. You'll win them just by gifting memberships like Papaya Pariah. Thank you, Papaya Pariah. Appreciate it, man. So if you'd like to enter, you've got a couple more minutes to enter. You can super chat. You can become a member. You can gift a membership. You can support the channel financially, or you can enter for free, but you'll have to wait till the next giveaway now. Put T and C in chat, or T ampersand C to win. So this is what we're entering, the Armageddon half. Is it not 20 boys? I said a squad of boys. I didn't say how many, but yeah, probably 20. I don't know how many models are in there. This is what you win in, all right? Whatever these lads. Here, watch this a minute. This is what you win in, all right? Well, I get the fucking stats up. So you're winning the orc side, all right? Whatever they said there, that's what you're winning, all right? 10 Gretchen, 4 characters, 2 vehicles. Yeah, it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. It's all going to be delivered. It's all brand new. It's all new on sprue. You're going to get the transfer sheet, get all the instructions. It's basically the Armageddon half that I didn't use. Games Workshop sent me an Armageddon box. I obviously bought one to give away, but I also realized that I'll probably never do anything with the orcs, and if I do want them, I can get some in the future. But I thought maybe you guys at home would like an Armageddon set. So if you already play orcs, or you don't play orcs and you like some orcs, then you're going to be entered to win. I'm just quickly sorting out all of the people who are being entered, because basically everyone who super chats or becomes a member has been entered already. But everybody who is currently a member will also be entered as long as they're not a gifted tier. So I just need to quickly sort that. So all of the freeloaders, they basically don't get a free entry because they have been gifted a tier. Parasocial all get 5 entries each. So let me do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then everybody else gets entry. So Primaris tier, Boys Club, 3D printer club, they all get 1. And then coaching tier gets 10 as well. Let me do that. So I was copying all the data. Sorry, chat. I'd like to do it now rather than before. If I do it before the stream, then the people who support during the stream don't get the free entry, so I have to do it last. So do that, and then I just copy this one down. Cool. And free radio. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. You could win from that. So these are all the people that have been entered. One sec. Make sure this is all correct. So these are all the people. As you can see, these are all the people that super chat or gift a membership or become a member during the streams. As you can see, all of these people, thank you so much for all the support. And then all of these people, if it says this afterwards, this is because they've got free entries for the membership tier. So you can see you got all the Parasocial Gang, you've got all the Primaris, you got the Boys Club, and then you've got 3D Printer Club, and then you got the coaching, and the final one with the gift of free radio, bringing us up to 420 this month. Thank you very much. That is the end of the entry for the Orcs Armageddon set. If you gift a membership now, you'll be entered into next month. So let me do this. So the way we do this is we get everybody's name, okay, and we put them in a wheel. All right, we spin the wheel randomly. After that, we get 10 names and we put them into a marbles race. Okay, that's how we do it around here. It's very fun. It's very emotional. 419 for some reason. Why have we got 419? Got a blank somewhere. Hungry Bird, thanks for the 2, mate. You'll be first on the... That's better. We're 1 off 420. All right, 419 after all. We have 419 entries, as you can see. I'm just going to shuffle it a bunch of times. All right, no funny business. Fully shuffled. I'm going to go this side so you can see all the names. Because I don't want anyone to come out and say Mike is a bloody scammer. All right. Okay. Wait, I just need a song. Like he's a scammer. Nice, thanks, mate. Alright, let's make this nice and quick, shall we? We got 10 people to pull out. Once your name's been pulled out, it'll be removed. Unless you got multiple entries, but for each entry, you'll be pulled out once. So let's grab some names, shall we? Here we go. Number 1 out of 10. Number 1, my friends. Can you make the marbles race? That's the question. Congratulations to Yestin. Let's go, Yestin. Let me just quickly make my thing, just so we know how many we've got. We fill that. Yellow. We've got Yestin Jones. You're currently in the marbles race. Remove 1. He's got multiple entrants, but down to 418. All right, let's go. Number 2. Number 2, baby. All right, who have we got? Who have we got? Number 2, come on down. We have Datsundes. Congratulations, Datsundes. You are in. Number 2. All right, congrats. Number 3. Nice and easy. Let's go. Flying through, flying through. Who wants to come down to the stage now? Come on down, it's Ara Marius. I remember this person. Sure. They had 1 entrant. So he said 1 super chat 1 time. Congrats, you're in top 10. Next. Number 4. Over a third of the way through now, chap. Over a third of the way through. Come on down to the stage. Stephen Whittam. Stephen Whittam, congratulations. You've got, again, with a single entry, sent one super chat one time. You are in. Or he's just a member. Who knows? Number 5. Halfway through now. Halfway. Final one for halfway. Aaron 582 Railways. Now, just going to double check. 582 Railways. Did they have multiple entrants or did I just type 7 on the end? I know, they have a number 7 on the end of their name. Sure, send a super chat once. Send a super chat once. Great job, mate. There's a lot of random super chats. There's a lot of random super chats here that are coming through. They're getting pretty lucky, don't you think? Alright. Okay. Okay. Gonna be, you know, now. Chat, we're already halfway through. Chat, we're already halfway through. That's 5 names. You got Yestin Jones, Datsun Des, Aramarius, Stephen Whittam, and Aaron 582 Railway 7. That's who we got so far out of the 419 entrants. We're down to 414. Alright. Give it a shuffle. Give it a little shuffle. You know? 5 more people can make it to the finale, but there is only space for 5 more. So here goes. It's Papaya. Congratulations, Papaya Pariah. You are in the final race. Got a bit nervous then. Heart started palpitating. Oh, these are your alt accounts. Bro, I spend all month filling it in. I literally do it on stream every time. Why would I have all of these alt accounts pay me money? Where would I get the money from? Where am I getting the money to make the alt accounts to subscribe? Alright. Next. 4 places remaining. 4 remaining. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Jordan McKellar. Congratulations, Jordan McKellar. Congrats. Congrats, Jordan. 1 entrant. He's not resubbed this month. He's just still a member. He's still locked in. You're a computer programmer, you probably hacked it. Listen, I don't want this sort of slander, alright? Let's not do this sort of slander, alright? Yeah, I'm a computer programmer. I don't do that. It's a pastime of my life. I make HTML websites, my little rules packs now. I'm a good guy. I'm a good boy, alright? I've never worked with the military before for computer hacking. I just want to say that for sure. Anyway. We got the music. Alright, 3 places remain. Oh, it's Papaya Pariah again. Congratulations, Papaya Pariah. You are in twice. Congrats. Congrats. Alright, we have 2 spaces remaining. We've got 8. We have 2 remaining. It's getting tense. Chat, it's getting tense. Is everybody ready? If I spin this, there'll be 1 space remaining afterwards. Let's give it a little shuffle. Alright, best of luck, everybody. These are all the names still in. These are all the names that are still in. Let's go. Who could it be? Who could it be in the final 9? It's Eleanor Carr! No way, bro. No way. Chat. Chat. Chat, that is Elliot's wife.
Free Radio Armageddon celebrates 28
Chat.
months of membership.
That is Elliot's wife.
The Blood Raven to do a contest. Smiley face emoji. Smiley face emoji.
So while Mark isn't in there just yet, tell us again how this is rigged. Right, okay. I've told Elliot he can't win again. All right. I've told Elliot he can't win again. I can't have a third scandal involving Elliot. Okay. I can't have a third scandal. So I'm gonna rig the election. All right. You can tell him I can't have Elliot being anywhere near the top 10 again. He's won 2 back to back. Well, his dad has. He's won 2 back to back. All right. He should have the marble. If it wins, give it to charity. What will the charity do with an orc army? I prefer he calls teachers slurs on live stream. No, Elliot wouldn't do that. Other YouTubers do. If you take her out, I'll cancel my membership. Donate it to Models for Heroes. How many family members has he in there? Would it be funny if she won? Well, he'll have... Eleanor donated a couple of times, so she's been entered twice. And then Mark has 1 entrance because he's just a subscriber. He's just a member. If Elliot wins, I'll give 50. Like, chat, let's be honest, right? Okay, let's be straight up, all right? Let's be straight up. Phone her and ask if she wants to be clear. I'm not gonna phone her, okay? I'm not gonna phone her. Right, we have a couple of options, all right? And like, I want chat to decide, okay? To make it fully fair. Because I think if Elliot has a third chance of being involved with the win, I look like a scammer, he looks like a scammer, and it doesn't look good, all right? And he took the custodies. Well, his dad did, but Elliot took the custodies. I don't think he wants the defiler, right? And I don't think he wants the orcs, okay? But I'm trying to be fully fair, all right? Because it is fair. I don't let my staff members enter, but I don't have staff members. But Elliot's heavily involved, all right? Elliot's heavily involved. So it's not against the law, it's not against the rules, but it is a bit sketch. So we have 3 options. We either continue and just let Eleanor just win for free or whatever. She has a chance to win like everyone else in the marbles race. Okay. That's option 1. Option 2, we redraw. We take Eleanor out of the winning because I can't have a third scandal with Elliot involved. Option 3, we keep Eleanor in, but she's charity. All right, Eleanor, I'm sorry you can't vote in this. I can't vote in this, all right? Elliot's, obviously someone's told Elliot, and now Ellie knows, right? I can't have a third scandal, and I don't want people thinking I'm just trying to scam, all right? So I'm going to let chat vote, all right? There are 48 people watching. Probably should have been a bit more of a bigger sample pool. All right, let's do a chat vote, okay? So, she stays, which is big. We continue. That's number 9. She goes. That means we redraw, or we do charity. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't help that they're both called Ellie. All right, chat. Vote now. She stays, she goes to charity. All right. If you vote she stays, she'll stay in the run-ins. The orcs could go to Elliot, all right? Because obviously Ellie will either... She might sell them, to be fair. If she goes, we'll just redraw. Or if it's charity, we'll change Ellie to Eleanor Charity. You know? That's where we're at. So vote on the chat now. Just click which one you'd like. You get 1 vote. There's 54 people watching. So we'll do it to like 35 votes. So just get on it now, please. Don't mess about. Because I can't fix a vote. I'm not pressing anything. My hands are here, you know? Do I slow the plug-in? I don't have the plug-in anymore. Never mind. Wait, do I have the plug-in? The plugin's not working. Alright? The plugin's not working. I can bring it up on screen. Alright? This is where we're at. Alright? This is where we're at. That's what's happening on screen for everyone at home. I'm not doing anything. Mikey, why do you hate women? Caveat, she wins, she has to build the paint. I can't control what people do when they win the prizes, alright? I just don't want me to be involved with the scandal, alright? That's all I just want to be. I want to keep my morals, alright? I'm just trying to keep them. I'm not even looking. I can't control anything. My hands are on screen. My face is on screen. How long shall I give it? Like another 30 seconds? I just don't want to be in trouble, alright? I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want people to hate me. That's my biggest fear. What do you mean when she wins she hasn't drawn yet? Look, I can't do it. I'm just not letting. Look, I'm just saying. I'm just here. I'm not doing anything. Right, I need 3 more people to vote. 3 people haven't voted. Tap in and vote. I want it to say 3-7. It says 3-4 right now. 3 people vote, please. No one's voting. Somebody vote, please. Fuck, I don't think I was going to vote. It's pretty clear winner anyway. Watching you squirm in the chairs. Where's my monthly membership? I'm not doing anything. I'm just sat here. Oh, I hate this. All right. It's 37. It was 69%. She stays. She stays. Congratulations. Congrats. I need the end bit. I need the end bit. Congratulations, Ellie. You stay. All right, so our 9 entrants so far. Where's my tab gone? I've lost it. Where's my fucking thing? Have I closed it? Wait, have I closed the tab? No. Our 9 entrants so far are Yesty Jones, that's Sundays, Aaron Marius, Stephen Whittam, Aaron 582 Railway 7, Papaya Pride, Jonathan McKellen, Papaya Pride, and Eleanor Carr. Bro. Fair's fair. Yeah, look, fair's fair. Look, I gave everyone the option. You can't say it's a fix. You can't say it's a scam. I had nothing to do with that vote. But we do have one more. One more person in the run-ins. All right? Doxed. What's doxed? Your name's on screen right now. You're engaging with the chat. So the way we do things is no family, no staff, friends are allowed, and also if the same name comes up 10 times, the 10th name will be redrawn until it's a different name. That's the rules. In before Elliot's dad. If it's Elliot's dad, I'm re-fucking drawing, alright? No vote. No vote. I'm redrawing. Oh, chat had a heart attack. Oh, chat had a heart attack. Neo Zuidi. Thank you, Neo's. Who the fuck is Neo Zuidi? But well done. You're in. You're in. Woo. Woo. All right, everyone at home, 4 Neo's and Elliot's cat. Zuni is my mother's maiden name. Fuck! Alright, 409 of you, sadly, did not make it into Wheel of Names. I'm so sorry you did not make it into Marbles Race. Our final entrants are Yestin, That's Undeads, Aaron Myers, Stephen Whittam, Aaron582, Railway 7, Papaya Pariah, Jonathan Pariah, Eleanor Carr, and Neo Zudi. Everybody else is now being deleted. Alright, time for the marbles time, is it? Oh, excuse me, ignore that. Ignore that, chat. Ignore that. Right, let me put my thing back. It's just my video. You've seen it already. Wasn't to anything important. At least the G Fuel I bought with your promo code to get an entry turned out to be all right. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. No, my pleasure. What can I say? Why is my games not? What's happening to Steam? Sure. Oh, it's linked to my Steam Deck, that's why. 11th edition leaks. Now, the 11th edition broken. That's all that was. So yeah, it wasn't like anything leak. It wasn't real leak. It was just what I've been working on for a video. Okay, we have a couple of minutes while I just quickly set this up. So thank you everyone for entering. Really appreciate it. The next giveaway is going to be a box set of some kind. I'm going to see what's left from the orders. I haven't ordered one yet. But I'm going to get a... Ellie, thank you for the 5. Appreciate it. I'm going to get a new box set that's just released, hopefully. If not, just a box set in general to give away next month. So anyone who's supporting the channel now will be entered to win that next month at the end of July. Stephen. I'm just putting all the names in chat, so give me a second. We got Aaron 582 Railway 7. What a name. Papaya Pariah. Jordan McKella. McKella. Then we've got Papaya. Then we've got Eleanor. God, I can't believe Elliot's fucking in the running again. Elliot, if you win, you can't give him to Elliot at all. Why did it not speak? It did, didn't it? It should do. Alright, we've got 10 names. What track shall we race? What track? We got Fear of Heights. Few will survive. Good Mad City. Haunted Hills. Love is in the Air. Marble Diner. Mountain Pass. Told her she's got to play Orcs against my dad's custodies. Round Racing. That was quite fun. Robotic Roadway. Shattered Dreams. Maybe that for everyone who's entering against Eleanor. Pixel versus the Unknown. What's that one? Do I have that one? Pixel versus the Unknown looks great. Oh, it's Elliot. Oh shit, it's fucking Elliot, bro. There he is. Oh, I didn't race it against bots. Sorry, one chat. We're gonna go back. We gotta go back. Fuck, we gotta go back. I didn't put bots. Bots, there we go. The content of me and Elliot watching the stream sat next to each other on the TV. There we go. All right, this is the final race for the win. Whoever's marble is number 1 according to the game is the winner. So here we go. Looks like we're going in 3, 2, 1. Go! All right, here we go. Okay, one sec. Can I pause? Yeah, I can. I'll do this so you can see who's in first. Eleanor looks like seems to be having an early lead. She has really flown away with it. Steve is trying to catch up. but they've taken different paths. Will it pay off? Who's to say? All right, we got going around. We got Aaron, 582 Railways. We've got over this side, we've got Arameus. Looks like Ellie's taking a very, very early lead, but she has got stuck. She has got stuck early on. Yestin and Steve have definitely taken off. Eleanor is stuck in the whirly-swirly thing. She's not. She looks like... It looks like, chat, my reputation is safe because she's going to be staying here for a while. All right. Oh, no. Is she going to get clipped again? Oh, like, yeah, she's definitely fucked it. Sorry, Ellie. Steven, though, what a great time. He's getting stuck here. We might get a read. We might get, you know, we might get a rebound. We might get something up. But Steven up here, he's going to watch out for the lasers of death. Steve, watch out for the lasers. Don't get lasered. Yestin has died. What's happening over Neo? He's just done the biggest... What the fuck did he just do there? What? He's fucking bouncing, bro. What is happening on this track, dude? Oh, well, he's got through, as has Steven. Over in the back, Eleanor is catching up. Catching up. She's catching up. She might still win. Everyone else might get lasered on the way down. Who knows? We've got Elliot and Dark Elliot when he doesn't win. But looks like Steve is getting a nice early lead. We got Neo and Papaya following close behind. Now, we do have a big jump, and we've got a big target to do. I don't know what happens after this. We have lost to Papaya Pariah. Steven is going to make the jump. Let's find out. Will he make it? Oh, he's made it. He's not missed. Thank God. Can anyone else? Can Neo? Papaya? It looks like Aaron has made it as well. Jordan McKellar, Datsundez, and Eleanor is... Thank God. Saving me from another scandal. Thank the Lord. Thank you, Ellie. You really did me a favour. Looks like Neo's the first one down with Steven very close behind. Very, very close behind. And going in through here, we've got like a little slurp thing. We got a little slurp thing. I don't know what this is, but we got Neo. Oh, he got caught on the thing. Steven pushing him forwards. Look at that, giving his friend a little help. Who's going to get out? They're very neck and neck now. Who's to say which way they're going to go? Nobody really knows. I don't know this track whatsoever. It is a crazy track. We got Des, we got Papaya, we got Aaron. All pretty close. Looks like Neo and Steve are going for the cross. And what the fuck is happening? Steve got a little hack from the map. Did you see? Stephen Whittam got the map hacked to the map. And he skipped this as well. The ultimate death of fiancés and wives to win. Will he make the box? He will. Stephen Whittam wins! Stephen Whittam, congratulations. You are the proud owner now of an ORKS Armageddon box set path thing. Congratulations, dude. We got Aaron following close second. Sadly, commiserations, Aaron. You won't be winning the prize today. And we got Jordan, Papaya, Datsun Des, Neo and Eleanor hanging out. Ellie had a super early lead. Lost it straight... Oh, I'm stuck. Let me out. Lost it straight away. It's still going. Now, the fires of death are starting to come now. The Inferno is coming for Ellie. Never mind, Ellie. R.I.P. Eleanor. Can she make the end of the track before the Inferno? It's not looking great. It's not looking great, bruv. Neo Zuni, the true Gundam players. R.I.P. Death by Inferno. Congratulations, Steven! Scandal free! Is that Elliot's nephew? Oh, fuck. Elliot, can you get Steven to message me? Because I know you're really close friends. That's a joke. That's a joke, chat. That's a joke. Sorry, it's a joke. They are the final results. Steven, Aaron, Jordan, Papaya, then Des, and the 5 did not finish. What a great track. What a great time. Congratulations, Steven. If you are watching live, please shoot me a message. If you're here in the Discord. I don't know if you're here live. I don't think you are. But I'll need you to contact me in the next week. If not, I will be having to do another race to find out who will win. Maybe Ellie will win after all if you don't contact me. So you got 1 week, mate. 1 week. Someone knows Steven? Tell him to text me. And that's it, chat. Congratulations to Steven. Appreciate it. Thank you for commiserations to all those that did not quite make it. Death by Inferno is never a shame, to be honest. Born out for Pariah too. Pariah did not make it, and neither did Yestin. But that's it, chat. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. I certainly did. It was good fun. It was good fun, I think. can't close the game. The game's fucked. There we go. That's my 4th or 5th entry to Marbles. I'll win one day. Well, at least I didn't go to edit again. Thank God. Thank God. Praise the Lord. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. I had fun. I'll be back on Wednesday. I'm recording videos all day tomorrow. I'm doing some more shooting for the 11th edition rules breakdown. I'm trying to make it like a really fun video to watch because rules breakdowns is fucking boring. Thanks, Mike. It was good while it lasted. Well, you got in fair and square, you know. I tried to take you out. I tried to take you out back like Lenny and the rabbits, but chat didn't want me to. So thank them, not me. So everybody who has super chatted today, let me get the names up. Sorry, 1 second. So everybody who's super chatted, let me get viewer activity up before I go. So we had these are the people who just failed to win. I'll be getting back to people this week, but Mac, if it's something interested in. Thanks, though, mate. Hungry Bert was the first one. Then we had Free Radio with 28 months. Have you considered PowerPoint? Nice. And then we got Ellen and Carr getting in early for next time. Well done, Ellie. You will be entered in to win. This is our July. It was a Royal Rumble. Another Royal was in there, so we'll keep it in. July box set, TBC. So I'll work out what we've got left, and I'll give it away. So definitely, we'll have a chance to win a big box set. Hammer Rich, thank you, Hatman, for the 39 months. Really appreciate it, bud. I'm just going to double check with Outpost what stock they've got in because I didn't want to order like a random one, but also we'll just see. They have a few army box sets still, so I'm just probably going to grab one of those and give that away. So I don't want to confirm exactly, but it will be an army box set of some sort. Are all of these just Elliot's relatives? Maybe. But buy a pariah. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted, dude. Really appreciate it, man. Very kind of you. There's 5. Thank you. If you'd like 20, you can support the channel with the super chat and membership. You also, if you are already a member, you'll get a free entry in. You can enter for free by typing !T_C to get the full details for that. And also, if you gift a membership, not only do you let someone else enjoy our Discord, enjoy being part of the community, you also get an entry as well. So the next one will be likely, the date will likely be the 31st of July, maybe, if we're live. If not, it'll probably be the 3rd of August, depending on dates and times, etc. So that's roughly when it's going to be given away. End of the month. We do giveaways every single month for everyone who supports the channel. So thank you, everyone who supported the channel so far. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I would love to give you all an Orcs Armageddon set. However, that'd be too expensive. But it has proven to some people it's quite beneficial. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Appreciate you guys. Bye. See you Wednesday. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye. This is a really long outro. Bye.